Hello, hello, everybody. It's Carmen, and give me just a minute. I'm doing some technology check-ins on here, making sure that we're all good. Can I get a hello? We can hear you in the chat. That would be fantastic. And as always, you guys feel free to interact over there in the chat and talk about where you are with health coaching. Are you making money? All good. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate it. Are you making money in your business? It's kind of crazy question, because if you were really making good money, you probably wouldn't be here, right? At least I would hope not. I hope that you're out enjoying yourself if you're already making money. All right, looks like everything's going as it should. Let me check Facebook real quick to make sure we're streaming live on the business page. And for those of you who don't know, I'm live all the time on the Institute for Functional Health Coaching business page on Facebook. So always trying to give you guys some value and information there as well. So I'm going to plug this into the chat. Hold on a moment, and then I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get going. So if you are not on my business page yet, please go out and like it and tell me where you're from and all that good stuff. All right, tell me if you're making money in the chat. Talk about your business over there. That's where I go to find information about health coaches, find out what you guys need, find out where you are with everything. I really honestly, truly learn from what you guys talk about in the chat. So it's very helpful to me. So I'm providing relevant information for you. Okay. All right. So I am going to request Linda, since you told me the volume was good, I'm going to ask you to tell me when you can see my screen, and then we're going to start. So it's a little bit different. If you've attended any of my webinars in the past, it's going to be a little bit different today. We're going to move a little bit quicker through some of the slides and things that we're doing. So are we good, Linda? Please put your questions in the Q&A, by the way. A Q&A box is thank you very much, is there for your questions. If you ask me questions in the chat, I will try to go in there, but I've got a hard stop today at 1:40. So it's easier for me if you guys keep it all in the Q&A. All right, I need to move this little box around. That's one thing about Zoom I should probably provide feedback on, is that box gets in the way quite a bit and then I lose it. And here we go. You see me moving around. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about how to make money as a health coach today, but I am actually going to, hold on a second. I want to try to close this window. Give me a second, you guys. I can't close the darn window unless it's off. So hold on. Sorry about that. Stop the video. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. Technology. Okay, we're not going to talk about how to run a detox. We're not going to talk about a cleanse. We're not going to talk about an elimination diet. We're not going to talk about any of that today. I want to really show you guys some real numbers when it comes to health coaching. What it really looks like to make money actually doing one-on-ones and group coaching, okay? Because it can be done. I have done it. Sadly, the thing with health coaching in our world, things have gotten complicated by the shiny object syndrome, okay? So let's just talk about the real methods of putting things into place so you can see some numbers today. So how to make money as a health coach. And I'm not talking about multi-level marketing. I'm not talking about adding anything to what you do that sells anything, oils, supplements, hair products, makeup, none of that. It's not that I don't believe in them. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. I just want to get to the business of talking about money. So as a reminder, everything you learn here today is purely educational, based on 10 plus years of experience of coaching. Nothing I share with you is prescriptive for your business, your clients, or yourselves. To learn more about all of the things that we do and don't do, go to carmenhunterhealth.com. All right, who am I? Why am I qualified to talk to you about the topic of money? This is going to be just a real quick intro to me. I'm the founder of the Institute for Functional Health Coaching. This is me and Brendan Bouchard. We are at the Mindshare Summit that unfortunately this year I cannot go. It would have been my 5th year there, but I have put my family first and I am taking my son to his first days of school. So I have deferred my ticket. I will be back next year. But we are at the Mindshare event here. And this is important to note. This is an investment that I made in my business every single year. To learn about how to run a business, to learn how to be, the best that I can be in my business and as a person, because if we're not the best person we can be, we cannot be the best that we can be in our business. Okay. So I feel like I'm qualified to talk to you about the topic of money because I've done everything known to man. I've made all the mistakes. I've done the spending a lot of money, thousands of dollars on things I never should have. I have spent thousands of dollars on things that have gotten me where I am today and where I was when I had a waitlist health coaching practice. people ask me all the time, are you still health coaching? Yes, I'm still health coaching, but my main business now is to show health coaches the truth about the health coaching industry. Nothing shiny about it, just the truth about what it means to actually build your business from the ground up. I have done that from the ground up. And I'm telling you that I want to put emphasis on this, because if you are learning from people who have not built a business from the ground up, then you're probably spending a lot of time and money on things that you should not be spending time and money on. Okay. All right. So who this webinar is for today is anyone that's done making excuses about why they aren't successful. You're going to hear me talk even more about that as we go along. Anyone who's ready to own their part in the mindset that may be around the idea of success or lack thereof. This is for the coach who's ready to take action on ideas and invest in their business. And this is for the coach who has grit. Grit is passion and resilience, and you need both of them in this industry if you're going to make it. But you also need to be coachable. And what that means, and I've seen this before, you guys, people have said, oh, I'm coachable. But then I've tried to have a conversation around what they could be doing to sabotage themselves. And I find out very quickly they are not coachable. I do anticipate probably seeing some people drop off today, because the delivery that I'm going to bring to you is for people who just, they're ready to get moving forward. And a lot of people are letting fear stop them. And fear might be one of the reasons we lose people in this webinar today. And that's okay. If you're not ready to be here, that's all right. Who this webinar is not for, it's the exact opposite of the list before. All right. Anyone who believes they have all the answers, but they're just missing that one little piece. There's never just one little piece, you guys. Never. Okay. There's lots of moving parts to building a health coaching business. So if you're being told, you know, oh, you just need to build a list, or you just need to have a website, that's not true. It's one little piece of a very big picture, a very big puzzle. This is not for anyone who hates sales pitches. Newsflash, you're a salesperson as well. This is not for the person who doesn't understand the value of energy exchange with money. This is a really big problem in our industry, you guys, and it's one I had myself. There's no judgment here at all. I can just tell you that when I have the same problem, when I didn't like being sold to, I didn't like being pitched to, I didn't understand the value of money and exchanging it for services. I was the same person. My business, it sat still. It sat still. So, and this is not also for anyone burnt out on the health coaching industry, hoping I have some magic bullet or the big answer. I don't have the number one answer. Nobody does. So if you're hearing the number one thing and the number one that's marketing. We've used it in the past. You know, we have copywriters that do those kinds of things to get your attention. You're going to do it too. Okay. That's what we do. We create a sense of urgency. We speak to people, letting them know that we have the answers, but I don't have just one answer for you today. I have quite a few things to talk to you guys about, and some of it might be hard to hear. If it feels icky before you leave, you should think about why it feels icky. Okay. Because when something triggers us to feel a certain emotion or feeling around our business, it's coming from something inside of ourselves. So I want you to keep that in mind as you think, should I stay here? Should I go? Do I want to be here? I don't know. Well, if you know me at all, and there's quite a few of you on here that do know me very well, I'm going to tell it to you like it is, and we're going to have an honest conversation today. But along with that, I'm going to show you the truth. You're going to hopefully get a few chill bumps thinking, this could be my future, right? And just so you know, I don't have any presenter's notes up. There is something wrong with my double screen here. I am 100% coming from the hip on this. So no scripts, no bulleted lists. If I forget something, I may go back and repeat or something like that. But any questions you have, you guys are only going to help me to give you what you need. So ask away. These are the most common things I hear from coaches, and I'm about to take them all away from you. First of all, hearing no one has the money to hire me. That is an excuse, and that is not true. And it's also none of our business whether or not someone has the money to hire us or not. What is our business is that we provide value. We have an ethical business that we provide. We present ourselves as authentically who we are, and we let the people who do have the money find us. But this is absolutely one of those things that we don't get to decide who has the money to hire us. So putting that story on somebody is really, that's just you sabotaging yourself, okay? So get back in your own lane here and just know that there are people out there that do have the money and they do want to hire you, but we have to remove the obstacles that we have, like that excuse, right? Everyone wants something for free. Well, of course we all want something for free. It'd be great if the whole world could revolve around free, right? And that's the truth, but that doesn't necessarily mean they want you for free. I don't know enough, so I'm going to take one more course on healthy food. That's a procrastination technique right there. So keep on taking those courses on food and health and brain health and thyroid and all of those things. But while you do that, your business sits still. Okay. We need to focus on how to make money. Then we have this, I don't have the money to invest in my business because I am new. Well, there's no better time to invest in your business than when you are new, so that you're not grabbing the shiny objects and getting all of these expensive things that you can't use or don't need yet. Okay. And if you're already a seasoned coach and you've spent a ton of money and you're still not making money, you haven't spent it in the right place, period. All right. I've spent enough money on my business. I'm still not coaching. All right. So that is something that you have to look at and find out, where did I put my money? Why did I not get what I needed from the investment that I made? And does that mean going back to where you invested the money and asking for what you need? Then maybe that's it. Or maybe you just didn't know where to go in the first place. Okay. These are the things that I'm hearing from coaches. Lots of negativity around money, lots of mindset issues, lots of things that I truly believe that we do. Well, I have done the same thing. I don't do it anymore. Make excuses for not moving forward in our business. We have to uncover those things, right? So this is my own quote I came up with today. I was sitting there thinking to myself, how can I actually help coaches take responsibility for themselves? How can I help them to see the part that they're playing in either the success or the failure of their business? And I thought, you know what? Most of the time, coaches are really happy to take credit for the success of clients or success, right? Look what I've done. I mean, you guys can look out at the marketing that's happening all around us of all these people that are driving fancy cars. And one of the ones that really gets to me is the guy that's going down the road on YouTube, and he's driving a really nice car, and he's like all laid back in his leather seats. And he's like, talking about, I'm on my way to my $1 billion this. I mean, it's crazy, right? So he owns all the success, but we don't see or hear a lot about the failures except for as the lead up to success. So what I'm challenging you to do here is, if you are not successful in your health coaching business today, you need to own that. And I'm not saying blame yourself and judge yourself and get all down on yourself. Own it. Say, have I done everything that I need to do to be successful in this business? And if you can't say yes to that, then you need to own the fact that you haven't done everything and own your failures as well. Okay. That's a part of being an entrepreneur, is owning every piece of our business, the success and the failures. And that means we learn from those failures and we move forward and we find things that work. So it's really time to get real about what it takes to make money as a health coach, you guys. So let's talk about what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn how to make money as a health coach, going beyond the one-on-ones, challenges, and other done-for-you stuff that you may have bought and aren't using. And I'm not totally knocking down done-for-you things, you guys. I'm just saying that if you're buying a bunch of done-for-you, meal plans and recipes and business this and all of those things, and you don't know how to use them, or you haven't tried the programs that you're purchasing, but you're asking other people to buy them from you, you're not purchasing them for the right reason. The other thing is this, is if you are purchasing other people's products, how are you really going to learn how to be the health coach that you want to be in your business? Your business needs to work for you, not you working for your business and not you being somebody else. We're going to learn how to add value to your services, the ones that you're offering one-on-one and also in the groups as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to stop making excuses. Here's what you won't learn today. This is one of my favorite lists. How to grow your list. I'm not going to teach you that, because you can have a list of 1 million people. And if you don't know how to make money and how to present things to people and how to structure things and have a system, that list means nothing. You're not going to learn how to make 6 figures by one-on-one client retention. In other words, I'm not going to teach you how to keep a client for life and get wealthy off someone's illness or diseases or problems. We're not going to talk about how to do that today. I think that's unethical, and I make it known, very public about my thoughts about that, about keeping the same client to just make money. We need to be using our clients to help them get well and then ask them to do testimonials and referrals for us. That's how we build a business. Which you're not going to learn how to get stuck today, because obviously some of you are stuck or you wouldn't be here. And we're not going to learn how to build a funnel. We're not going to talk about techie stuff. We're not going to talk about websites. We don't need any of those things to actually make money. Okay. All right. So ask an expert. So here's the thing, you guys, you're here because you've either heard that I have some insight or information or knowledge or experience about the health coaching space, and you would be right. I don't claim to be an expert on anything. I'm really, really not great at baking. Okay. I will burn a cake in a heartbeat. I'm terrible when it comes to math. And when I share the math with you here in just a couple minutes, when we look at the math, I can tell you straight up transparency that my 14-year-old, I had him come down and I had him check my math. Okay, that's how bad I am at math. But one thing I am an expert at is being a health coach, building a health coaching business, coaching people, helping people overcome issues and obstacles and challenges, and teaching coaches how to do this. I claim to be an expert in that area. I think that I can tell you and I can show you that I've had the experience. I have done this, period. Okay. Everything else, I can tell you straight up, I am not good at a lot of things, but this is the one thing I love and that I am good at. All right. So here's a comment that I think is really important for you guys to look at. Spending money can be painful, but the result of not making investments in your business can be worse. You can restructure this. Spending money on your health can be painful, but the result of not making investments in your health can be worse. All right, the first one, this one right here, is directed at you guys. It can be painful, but you're building a business, for gosh sake, right? So if you don't invest in your business to build it, you won't have a business. So for your clients, yes, you know, being unhealthy is painful, but if you don't invest in your health, it will get worse. So these are things that you can use to these types of comments, these types of things when you're trying to bring in clients. You've got to be able to sell yourself, and not in an ugly way or in an unethical way, but in a way that lets them know, listen, I understand this. I understand it's hard to spend money on a health coach for $450 a month or whatever it may be. But what's the outcome going to be if you don't take charge of your health and learn how to be an advocate for yourself? More disease, more problems, more sabotage, right? Keep in mind, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm not asking you to do anything I haven't done. Okay, I've done the one-on-ones, I've done the groups, I've done the talks, I've failed at things, I've succeeded at things. The things that I talk to you guys about, you know, I've done these things. I'm not speaking out of no experience on them. So let's talk about the first one of my favorite ways to make money: groups, classes, and talks. And I'm not talking about creating a signature program that you're going to launch and put on your website and be in launch mode all year long. Okay, these are talks that can be done in the community or online all year round. Okay, we're going to talk about how you can keep them small for more intensive work. And we're going to talk about creating larger groups with group activities or peer exercises, right? You can do either or, and how these talks or classes should lead to another group or a one-on-one. So just because we're having a group or a class and we're teaching something doesn't mean that it's over when it's over. There's always an opportunity, and it doesn't mean we're retaining these clients for life. We're leading them through the process of getting well. And one class isn't going to get somebody where they need to be. But if we provide the information and education on them to take it further, they can absolutely excel and find optimal health through groups and classes. So these are briefings, okay? It would take me, and I've done trainings on all of these things, and they are hour-and-a-half long classes and webinars with all kinds of documents to support them and so on. Right now, we're just going to go through the ideas of how to go about doing this, right? You can do it online. So you would have a platform like Zoom to hold your event. You would do a free Q&A with lots of high value and information. It would lead to the offer of a paid group or class. And then you offer incentive to act now, right? Super simple, online. But here's the thing. Here's the part a lot of people are skipping or health coaches don't understand. When you do a webinar like this, like what I'm doing right now, this is free to you guys. We're doing a free webinar. I'm talking to you about making money. You would do a free webinar. You're going to talk to people about whatever the topic may be, talk to them about standard American diet, whatever. You would lead to the offer of your paid class or whatever you're going to be holding, a small group, a large group, or whatever. And then you're going to give them the incentive to act on that now by joining you, right? So very simple. Everyone complicates this. When we skip the free process, we're skipping the know, like, and trust part. We've got to get them to know us. They've got to learn to like us. The trust part comes when they, at the end, after they've learned from you and they see that you're offering something that has high value, right? And then they get to like you even more when they join you in your classes or your groups. It's all the same thing: group, class, program, whatever. It's all the same. All right. So if we were to go out in the community, and this is the part that a lot of people, they think they can just sit behind their computer and grow a business when they're brand new. I really encourage you to get out into your community, do a free meet and greet at a local, chiropractor's office or someone you can collaborate with, rent a space in an office building or the library for an hour and a half or two, and then teach a high value class for 30 or 40 minutes by touching on pain points. You're not going to give the action steps or the answers until they enroll in the paid offer at the end. But you are going to do this ethically by giving them something they can walk away with that gives them some idea to get their mind turning and changing in the idea of living a better lifestyle, right? So that's what we want to make sure that we do. So with small group coaching, one of the reasons it's one of the more popular offers is because it's more intensive, right? And attention to the attendees is higher. So a lot of people that say, well, I can't get into the one-on-ones, it's too time consuming, I'm not sure if I want to sign up for a month or 2 months or 3. Small group coaching is a great option because usually the price is lower, they still get that attention, they also get the support of their peers. So it's got a higher price point because of the attention, but not as high as a one-on-one might. So it might look something like this: 90 minutes of high value, action steps, free content, and offers to take things further, and a Facebook group for niche topics, or just one group for the programs. So what that looks like is, let's just say we hold a class on stress, right? We teach them about what stress is. We educate them based on pain points that we pull out that we've learned over time of working with people, or that we've done on a survey or poll. We want to hit the pain points, so we speak to them. We then give them action steps, free content, maybe downloads or videos, and how they can look at stress differently, because I believe in stress perception, not reduction. They then get added to a Facebook group on that particular meeting for that topic, and they support each other. That's the other great thing about it, is they've got each other to talk this through, to lift them up, to be there. So it's less work for the coach, a lot less work for the coach. Larger groups, you can charge a little bit less, right? Making it more affordable and even more appealing for those who are budgeting, but they still want that help. Great peer support amongst themselves, more testimonials and referrals faster when you have a larger group. You're also going to keep it a little bit more general because you're not as small. It can't be as intensive. You can't get in there and do any customized types of addressing any customized questions or things like that. But you're still providing great value, and they've got the support of themselves, and you can still do a Facebook group as well. Anytime you add something like that on there, you guys, that's just adding high touch and high value to what you're offering. Everyone wants to know this question: how much do you charge? There is absolutely not one answer for this. It depends on the amount of work that you put into it. It depends on the amount of content that you're giving away. What is the value that you place in your time and services? And what are the demographics of your area if you want to work out in the community? Online, it's going to take a little bit more time because you've got to go out and find people, and you're more in a more, and I'm air quoting here, a competitive space. And I turned my video off because it's a distraction to see myself talking. But for real quick, let's just touch on this, you guys. The value you place on your time and services. So the time and that you start, when you start working on groups, it starts when you start getting ready in the morning to go, or whenever you're holding your group, when you start getting ready, when you start putting on your makeup, when you start doing your hair, when you start loading your computer and all the stuff that you're taking to the group. That is the time that this starts. It doesn't start when you get to the actual group location. It doesn't start when you turn on the computer. It starts when you start prepping to hold the class, program, or group. I'm just going to call it a group. That's faster and easier. Anyway, so most of the time when coaches are putting prices on things, they're putting a price on, let's say they're running an hour and a half group, right? They start the pricing in their mind. Well, it's an hour and a half long, so I'm going to charge, and I'm just throwing numbers out. We're going to see math here in a minute, which, hopefully I don't get a hive. Math just gives me, can't stand it. I don't really get hives, but it does make me uncomfortable. Anyway, so they start thinking about it from the time they arrive at the group, when the group starts and when the group ends. What they're not pricing it out at is when they start getting ready to go there, the time it takes to get ready, the time it takes to prepare, the time it takes to drive there, set up the group, break down the group, answer the questions, get in the car, and go back home. All of that should be factored into your price, okay? Again, it doesn't start when you start teaching. It starts when this becomes something you work on. So valuing your time starts when you start prepping to be at this particular event, running this event, okay? So keep that in mind. If it takes you 3.5 hours to teach a 90-minute class, price your group at that 3-hour time frame, okay? With that 3-hour time frame in mind. All right, so what's the timing of running groups? So let's just kind of use, we'll do like a 60-minute type of thing, just keeping it on the hour, again, the math thing. But let's just use this topic example: moving from the standard American diet into a whole food lifestyle, habits you can change and sustain. Okay, that's the topic. So we spend maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes talking about what the standard American lifestyle or diet is and what the whole food lifestyle is. And you're educating them using examples and touching on pain points, right? Then you might spend the next 30 minutes teaching them about what it means to move away from that, the easy steps. And we're talking about dipping your toe in the water, maybe taking out one inflammatory food and replacing it with something else. We're talking about, whatever topic it is. And I could teach a group every day for an entire year and never run out of things to talk about. And I know that coaches are like, I just can't think of anything. I can't think of anything. Well, we've got, 7 essential things I teach at the school. Pick one of those things and break it apart. If you're teaching on sleep, you can talk about insomnia, what it is, what it means, what it looks like, what it truly is to wake up in the night. I mean, you could do a whole hour and a half on that, right? So if we're talking about food, I mean, it's endless. You could do one entire class on inflammatory foods that cause disease. You could do a class on what diseases it causes and problems it causes. Then you talk about the action steps. How do you make the changes? What happens when you make the changes? I mean, we can go on and on. So 60 minutes is really a short amount of time to cover a really big topic. And you can make it longer if you want, but the attention span of people, you guys, we have to keep that in mind. We've got the people that are like, I could stay here all day, grab a cup of coffee and hang out with you for 6 hours talking about food. And then we've got the other people who are like, I've got 60 minutes of attention to give to you. Let's just get to it. We have to try to keep this where we are catering to both styles of learners. And 60 minutes is about a good time. You can do 90, but you're going to have to take a break in the middle, right? So you're teaching about that. You get through the content. You're giving them action steps. Hopefully you've got this structured so when they get home from the event, they open up their email and they've got their action steps or the high value that you offered it and promised to them. They get added to the group so they can continue to talk to each other. But at the end of the group, you guys lead to something else. Always lead to something else. Not like the same topic, but maybe the second part, like, week 2, we're going to talk about this, week 3. Or, hey, if this was a lot and you're feeling, motivated to really take, your health by the reins, I've got 6 spots open for one-on-one, coaching. Please get with me. Here's an email. Give them an action step. Or, my class on sleep starts in 2 weeks. If you'd like to be notified or sign up, please put your email here. Take them somewhere further. Okay. What you're doing is you're building that trust. You're building that relationship with them so that they are signing up and referring out and giving testimonials on these particular groups and classes. Now, rinse and repeat. I'm a big fan of rinse and repeat on everything I do in my business. Everything. My entire one-on-one process is rinse and repeat. The templates that I write and the groups that I run, rinse and repeat. The food guide I use, rinse and repeat. These templates become your class outline for the groups you want to run every single week. No starting over every week. Update as you learn, gain experience and feedback. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second when I get to the money part. We're going to look at that in a moment. But if you're not familiar with what a template is or whatever, it's simply a literal outline and a guideline, a blueprint that you pull up and you teach from every single time. Okay. And what you're going to be able to do here is to bring that authentic part of yourself into your teachings, answering questions, improving things as you go. Different people create different classes. So it never, ever gets boring. It never gets dull. People have great questions. They love to interact, but the template becomes the outline so that you don't have to start all over every single time. So the work on the front end of doing groups, you guys, and templates like this, yes, it's work on the front end. But after it's done, every single class you run should only take just a couple of minutes to get ready to do. It's literally like going into a job. Someone who goes into a job and doesn't have to bring it home with them. Unfortunately, that's what we do. But you get to go to work and come home and you don't have to do anything once you get home except send that follow-up email or whatever it is that you do, just kind of wrap things up. So let's talk about the money part. And again, put your questions in the Q&A for me. This is what the money part looks like. I'm going to put some real numbers out for you. Okay, group coaching class, right? We just got done talking about you can do them small, you can do them large, you can do them online, you can do them in the community. What we're talking about today is the money part, how to make the money. So group coaching may look like this, and these are just suggestions. So if you see $100 or $500 or $475, whatever, you guys, these are just numbers. Just remember, pricing something depends on the things we talked about earlier, experience, demographics, and value. So these are just examples. So let's just say that every attendee that signs up with you for your small group coaching pays $100, okay? And I'm rounding up. Typically you see numbers like 97, 47, 37, whatever. They pay $100. That's $500 for that one group class. Let's say we're gonna run that class for 90 minutes. And that, now remember, this is the same class, okay? So let's say that the class schedule looks like this. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the reason I don't put Friday in there is because if you guys take this particular method of coaching, Fridays are your day off. You get a 3-day weekend every single week, which I highly recommend, by the way, no matter what. Okay. Even if it's a half day Friday, I don't believe we should be working on Fridays. We're working way too hard to build our businesses. So let's look at that. That's 12 classes per week at 18 hours total, right? Total 18 hours of teaching for the week, 12 different classes, because you're just rinsing and repeating that same class. That's $6,000 a week times 4 weeks, $24,000 a month times 12 months. You've got $288,000 per year. All right. Think of what you could do if you actually worked 30 hours a week, which is still 10 hours below what a normal person does every single week. Okay. One more time. Are you guys tracking me? Give me some feedback in the chat. I'm going to pop in there and look in a minute, but just hear me here, you guys. And I'm going to clarify. So let's lay it out a little bit cleaner for you. Monday, we hold this same class, and let's just use the food class as an example. We've got a food class starting at 9, ends at 10:30. We go to the bathroom, we grab some coffee. We come back, we teach the same class, different group of people from 12 to 1:30. We go to the bathroom, we grab a bite, we come back at 2, and we teach to a different group of people, but it's the same content from, say, I don't know, 3 to 4:30. Okay, those are your 3 classes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Is this making sense, you guys? I don't see the chat lighting up a whole lot, so I'm hoping that I'm making sense. It's the same template, the same class, different people, okay? Different people. So here's the deal. You know, people are gonna say, well, I don't have anywhere I can teach. You know, all the excuses are gonna stop popping in. I don't know where I would do this. Where would I go? How do I even start? Well, that's the work part. This is where you go to a chiropractor and you say, hey, you know, I see that you guys would love to offer some sort of health coaching. I see that you're looking for someone, or maybe they're not, and maybe they don't even know they're looking for that. I would love to add some value to your people and bring some people your way, actually be a walking advertisement for you. Can I do a free meet and greet, tell people who I am, give some high value information on food for about 30 minutes, and then lead into a paid group coaching program that I teach in your clinic to your people? Maybe you have to pay them a little bit and give them a kickback or something like that. Maybe you have to rent their space or whatever. But if you're making $24,000 a month, you guys, who cares about giving a little kickback or whatever, or sharing a referral fee or a finder's fee, right? Okay. All right. So why I'm telling you that is because the work comes with the marketing. The work comes with creating the templates to start with. My people in my school have a couple of them already, and I'm working on 5 or 6 more. But that's the work, is getting out. Where do you find the place? How do you market it and find the people, right? That's the part. This is not the hard part. Making the money is not the hard part. All right. Many people, again, don't make that weekly amount of $6,000 in a month of work. You guys, this is very doable. Very doable. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about another way that you can add things on to your existing services. And I hope you can see that. My little menu bar is up there. You know what? I don't know how to get over here. My little cursor doesn't want to come over. So I can't check the chat, but I will when I'm done. Okay. A la carte, not just for menus, or you can call it mix and match. These are add-on services to your main offerings and can be anything that they receive one time. Pantry cleanouts, one-time sessions to review the basics, prepare for surgery, deal with stress, etc. So what does that look like? So I hope that you already have fees and services laid out. I hope that you guys have that. That should be part of what you've already got done, because if someone walks up to you tomorrow and says, I want to work with you, what can you tell me? You say, give me your email. I'm going to send you my fees and services. A fees and services form is giving them an outline of what you offer, tells them what to expect from working with you. At least I hope you have that on there. You should have that on there. It saves you a lot of time and can filter out the tire kickers, right? People who aren't serious. And then you can have a little menu down on the bottom of your fees and services or wherever of things like this. And again, $250 is just a number that I picked up. Pantry cleanout, refrigerator cleanouts, beauty product makeovers, garage makeovers, cleaning supplies makeovers, food and lifestyle review, thyroid support, surgery prep and recovery consultation. These are one-time sessions, or one-offs is what I call them. I call them a one-off that you can offer. Now, why would you do this? Well, not everyone wants to do a full contracted session with a coach. Not everybody knows what a coach is or what they offer, right? And it's a great way to develop a relationship that leads or can lead to a longer contract, a relationship, or putting them into those groups that you're running. Okay, so I want you to keep in mind that when we talk about health coaching, everybody's like, what do you do? What is a health coach? Well, your definition of a health coach can be anything because there's no regulation around it. We know that. At least I hope that you know that by now. I even have my own definition of a health coach that I teach to my students and my members of my mentorship group. But here's the thing. When someone comes to me and says, what do you do? What do you even do? And I say to them, I help people move away from a standard American lifestyle into a whole food lifestyle in ways that make sense to them. And I meet them where they are and take them to where they want to be. Right. And they're like, I'm not sure I'd really benefit from that. Well, let's get your toe wet, dip your toe in the water of it. Let's do a one-time session at a price that maybe, appealing to you. And let's see if it's for you. It always is. It is almost always, you guys, for people, but they just don't know it yet. So it's a great way to introduce them to who you are and what you offer. And it usually leads to a longer contract, which I do 3-month contracts, or they ask me, when do you run a group again? I want to know. So it can lead to other things. So what does the money part of this look like? So the client chooses the following services or whatever, the mix of the others. Beauty product makeover. We're just going to use 3 services as an example. Okay. Say someone comes to me like, oh, I want to make up, I want to do beauty counter. I want to sign up with them and I want to clean up my beauty products. My garage is a mess. I'm going to give that to my husband for Father's Day. And while we're at it, let's clean up the cleaning supplies as well. All right. So that one person chooses 3 things that they want to spend money on, right? That's $750 for 3 hours of work. Okay. Whether you go there or you show them how to do it on the computer or whatever. And you can do it virtually as well. If it goes over for any piece of this, then you bill them afterwards. Okay. 3 hours. We're just going to stick with 3 as the number. Okay. If it goes over, it goes over. 3 hours per day at $750 for those 3 projects, right? Oh my God. Can you even imagine what they feel like when they walk in the garage and they see it clean? Like I get so excited about a clean garage. I don't know anybody else that does, but I do. Or my cleaning supplies, anything that I clean out, I feel so good when it's done. And so will these people. I promise you, I've done these things for them. I haven't done the garage, but I've done the cleaning supplies. I've done the beauty products. I've done the thyroid, all of those things before. All right. 3 hours per day at $750 is $2,250 for 9 hours of work. Okay. $9,000 for 4 days of work for 4 weeks is $36,000 a month. You are only working 128 hours total. Okay. No follow-up or additional work once you leave, nothing to take home, no emails to provide, no phone calls to have, no hand holding. You just leave and you make money, right? It's done until they call you and say, okay, I love that so much. I want to do this, this, and this, or I want to come to your group or I want to hire you. So the work with those same people comes when they come back to you and say, I want to do more. I want to do more. It was so worth it. Okay. All right, so let's talk about one-on-one work, okay? So it's beneficial for experience. It keeps you fine-tuning your skills as a coach. And many people truly want that private attention. But I'm a believer, you guys, of charging for the time that you're worth, okay? So my most recent mentorships that I've signed up, because I do private one-on-one mentoring to fast forward people, I have just literally wanted to weep for some of them when I've seen their pricing. I mean, oh my gosh. Like when we broke it down, for one girl, she was making $3 an hour. Absolutely criminal. Health coaches are some of the smartest people I know. And I know a lot of people in the wellness space, you guys, thousands of people, some doctors, and health coaches by far are some of the smartest people I've ever talked to or taught. Okay. You guys need to be making the money that you're worth. And I don't mean it's in some cocky way. And I don't mean charge more than what you're giving. I mean, use the knowledge that you have and provide the information to people in a way that is worth every penny that they spend and then some, where they might even say to you, you're not charging enough. You've given me so much value and you've just made things so much better for me. Right. So it looks like this real quick. My students have this, but if you don't have a system, you need a system. This is mine. Free consultation, 15, 20 minutes. First intake is received before you meet them. That increases your confidence. Second intake received before you meet them the second time. Third one before the third meeting. Your fourth and final exit received before the final meeting. And then you ask for testimonials in writing or videos. So we're going to talk about the money part. If you don't have a system, you're already running an inefficient practice. Get something in place, you guys. Save yourself the time and headache. Have a system in place. Rinse and repeat. It is the safest low risk way to practice. It provides that template, air quoting again over here, but the template that you need to work efficiently and have clients back to back. What does that look like? All right. So a client for 3 months, because I believe in a 3-month program, $425 per month. That's just an example. Absolutely charge more if you want to. It includes one in-person or online intake session per month. So remember the system I just told you. You're meeting with them once a month. You're doing one intake session, and then you're providing the follow-up resources and support by email per month. You're not getting on the phone. You're not texting. You're not holding their hand unless you're charging a lot of money for that, because that is impinging on everything else you're doing with your business. Once your system is in place, you should be spending about, I would say, 2.5, 3 hours total per month per client. So we're going to stick with the number 3, okay, because it's a round up number. So with only 16 clients a month, okay, 2 per day with your Friday off, at $6,800 per month times 12 months, you're making a nice little salary of $81,600 for a total of only 48 hours per month of work. Okay, I hope I'm blowing minds here. I can't get my cursor over there to look at the chat. But can you guys, people work 40 hours a week. They're killing themselves working 40 hours a week and getting under the stress and losing the sleep and all of those things. You could be making this kind of money with only 48 hours per month. Okay, so why in the world would you keep doing what's not working? Why in the world are you spinning your wheels, doing all of these things for $70, for $65, and why don't you have more clients is the question, right? Every single person should be able to manage 1 to 4 clients per day. There's no reason you shouldn't have them. Absolutely no reason. So the question is this: are you happy where you are with your business? Are you ready to create a business that works for you? This is the question that I've had to ask myself. Am I happy with where I am? Do I want to hire this launching coach? Do I want to purchase this launching program to make things easier? Do I want to sign up with this funnel system for $1,000? The question is, are you happy where you are with your business? If you say, yeah, I'm actually really happy doing what I'm doing and where I am, then there's no need to go any further. Keep doing what you're doing. That's fantastic. But if you're ready to create a business that works for you, you got to stop doing what's not working, you guys. You have to. Because here's the thing: if your business is running you, then you're not running a successful business. Your business should be working for you. And that absolutely means that what you're spending your time on is pleasurable and it's efficient and you're enjoying it and you're excited about getting up and going to work and you're watching that money come in and you're feeling good about it because you're being ethical, you're being yourself, you're helping people, you're making a difference in a really big way or a small way if that's what you want to do. You're not modeling what other people are out there doing in the wellness space. You are being who you are, but you got to have some belief that that is possible. And you've got to overcome the mindset issues that you are not going to make what you deserve, or that you aren't worth it, or that you don't know enough, or that no one wants to pay you. All of those things that we talked about in the very beginning. Those are what I call objections. Okay, so I want to give you something to think about here. If your clients are having objections, I don't have the money, I don't have the budget, I can't afford it, and it's bleeding into what you believe about your business, then it's time for you to take control of that so that you can get those people that are coming to you, right? So what does that look like? That looks like this. I absolutely know that I can run an ethical business helping people. I am passionate about it. I know that what I have is going to make a difference, right? And then you put a price tag on that, right? You put a price tag on it. And the people that want to help themselves, that don't have the excuses and don't want to kick the tires, they come to you. But it's up to you to change that energy and shift things your direction. And that means investing the time, investing the money, investing the energy, putting the work in, learning what it takes to make it happen. And that's the resilience and the passion and the grit that I talked about at the very beginning. So I told you earlier, if you don't like sales pitches, this is not for you, because I'm telling you, I know how to do this. If you're ready to stop guessing at what works, and don't hang up right away. I'm gonna take the video off and I'm gonna answer questions. So stick around, you guys, in just a moment. But I want you guys to get on a call. I want you to learn about what we're doing. I want you to learn about the stuff that I just shared with you, about what I'm teaching, about how I'm helping coaches to build a business that works for them so they can stop running their tails off and doing what doesn't work. It just doesn't make sense. It is so simple. It is simple. But what's in the way with coaches today, you guys, is themselves. It's the mindset. It's the belief. It's all the stuff that's being filtered to you through your mind, into your mind, about how hard this is and how you have to have all of these done for you programs and all of those things. No, you have to be exactly who you are. You have to think about what your dream business looks like. Then you have to know that you can make it happen. Then you got to put the work in, right? Doesn't that sound simple? Like, if you know, it does. I mean, here's the thing. I had mindset issues too. And I had these blocks and these obstacles and challenges too. I had all of those things, which is one of the reasons why earlier on, when I was talking to you, for those of you who joined late, that I can tell you that I am the expert to talk about this, because I've made all the mistakes. And you can ask any of my students, they might even be on right now. I don't know, because I can't see the chat, but they'll tell you straight up. I will get on and say, oh my gosh, you guys aren't gonna believe what I did today. This was so dumb. I spent this, or I did this, or, oh, I wasted time on this. And then I get to teach them not to do that and how to get around that. And, you know, the most recent example I shared was, and I'm going to move this screen in just a moment, but the most recent example I shared was, I spent almost $4,000 on something. I'm not going to give the name of it, but it was a launching product. And I thought I had to have it because someone said, well, if you're about to open up a course, and this is about 5 or 6 years ago, you got to have a system and a formula to do it. I'm like, oh, okay, what does that mean exactly? And so I went out, and it was like, first thing I saw that everyone was buying, I bought it. And then I went, oh my gosh, I have no idea how to use this. And so then I hired a launching coach for $6,000, $6,200, $6,000, something like that, to help me learn how to do that. So then I had a $11,000 investment between those two products, right? Thank God I had written on my calendar, and I'm giving you a tip right now. If you ever buy anything with a money back guarantee, write it on the calendar the week before it expires, reevaluate whether or not it's working for you or you need it, and cancel it if it doesn't. Okay. I even gave this advice to somebody for the mentorship group that I run. I said, listen, it's going to re-up in a year. When you sign up, it's going to charge you right away. Write it on your calendar, evaluate if you've gotten everything you need to from it, right? Because the goal is to run ethical businesses that make us money. But in order to do that, you've got to have those things in place. You've got to have the passion. You've got to have the grit, the resilience to make this happen. You've got to know deep down in your core that you can. And I can tell you that you can right now. It's in there. And then you've got to do the work. You've got to invest the money. You got to make it happen. When people start working with me, I tell you this is what I charge for my monthly mentorship. I want you making that back before we're done. I want you making that money back. I at least want to see the steps in place so that you're generating revenue to pay back what you're paying me. Okay. All right. And in the spirit of that, we believe we have a program, Everyone Should Live to Give. That's why it's at the core of everything that we do. We love to give. I love to give. I'm the person that would rather give a Christmas gift than get one. I sit there with all my gifts. And I'm like, no, I'll open them after you're done. No, you open yours. I want to see I want to see people happy, right? So it's at the core of everything we do. For every student that enrolls in our program, we donate a percentage of tuition to a charity of our choice, and we will rotate them. Okay, so these are the 3 that we donate to. I just moved away from Clarksville, Montgomery County. I was president of the Humane Society for many years, and then I sat on the board there, and I did a lot of work for the homeless animals. So that's why that's a choice. The International Foundation for Gastrointestinal Disorders does a lot of amazing work. And then human trafficking right now is a big problem, you guys. So we chose those 3. We wanted to just dip the toe in on the health thing, then do something good for humanity, then help the animals a little. So that's how we made our decision. But the Live to Give is an incentive that we feel is important. If we're going to receive, then we need to give. So I'm just going to encourage you guys, let us show you how to do this. Just book a call, get on the phone. It's free. Have a conversation with my team. They're absolutely amazing. They know what we have to offer. They know what we do. I'm going to grab the link and tuck it in the chat, but I'm going to exit for now. And I'm going to try to get my cursor back over to the other window. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start my video. I'm going to stop my share. And here I am. Okay. All right. So I'm going to look and see what you guys have been talking about. And I'm going to grab this link for you and I'm going to plug it in. And then I'm going to answer questions. And so now we're on the topic. We are on the topic of anything health coaching. What are your biggest questions about health coaching? We've got a good 20 minutes to hammer it out. What do you want to know about it? I'm going to go into, and I see objections. No way I can meet my clients once a month. Change doesn't happen. Well, Wally, I can prove that it does. I've been doing it for 10 years. It's my system. I use it every single time. I'm going to speak to that more in a moment. Anonymous attendee. I keep getting hit up by multi-level marketing individuals to health coach. Why? What do you mean? Are these individuals that sell multi-level marketing? I don't understand. Can you clarify the question? Are they asking you to become a health coach? Are they asking you to sell their product? What's going on there? Give me more information and I will come back to that. Oh, you pressed, oh, duh. I pressed send too early. Sorry. Why do they call themselves coaches when they don't know anything about health coaching? Because we're unregulated and they get to. Just like the local vitamin shop person that brings you a supplement and they say, you know, you could take chromium for your blood sugar problem. Oh, how do you know that? Oh, I'm a health coach. There's no regulation around it. Anybody can call themselves that. And, you know, the sad thing is, here's the thing. There's a lot of activity and a lot of conversation going around, and a lot of health coaches, they get really worked up about this. I used to do the same thing. And here's what I learned. If I focus on what other people are doing and what other people are saying and how they're describing themselves and all of that, I'm taking the focus off of myself and my business and how I want to run my business. So my best advice to you on that, plug your ears, walk away, unsubscribe, don't follow, go away from them. And then it won't be a problem anymore, right? Anytime we focus on what other people are doing, we're losing the focus of ourselves. So Margaret says, a prospect, hi, Margaret, of creating a presentation is overwhelming to me, especially finding relevant graphics and copyright issues. It sounds like you're not a proponent of done for you presentations, even editable. I hate that word, editable, like Synduit. No, it's not that I'm not a fan of done for yous. I think that they have their place. I'm especially a fan of anything that's editable. God, that should not have even been a word. I love Synduit. I'm a person that promotes them. I've interviewed them multiple times. Absolutely. And you're a student of mine, so you know that. But Margaret, in the curriculum, once you get further down, I can't remember what week it's in, you're going to get to the whole, there's an entire module on group coaching. And I give you 2 templates in there that you get to make your own. I'm a big fan of you guys being your best and only self. So if you're following an exact like script or, you know, a done for you that tells you exactly how to do things, then I'm hoping that you've done that program, or you've moved through that, or you've done the sugar detox, or you've done the elimination plan, or whatever it is, so that you can speak from experience in an authentic way. Because if we're delivering someone else's information and we don't know anything about it, you're not gonna bring people to you. It's the law of energy, right? So Margaret, when you get to the group coaching section, just know those 2 in there are kickstarting to get you there. And I'm writing, I think I've got 4 templates, like just the basic outline done, but I've got 6 ideas for group coaching, and I'm just going to keep growing them and giving them to you. If you're a student, you get that for free anyway. Yes. Will you be sending an email with the information for a call to talk about this? Yes, Carol. Is it Carol? You know, I love it when people have these beautiful names and I always feel like I butcher them. But yes, the link is in the chat. So go ahead and grab it and hop on with the team, have a conversation, and get your questions answered. We are a no profit chasing, pushing business or company, but we have a product that works. I have created something that works. It's 10 plus years of everything that I've learned as a health coach from the ground up. And if I don't know it and I don't provide it somewhere and you want it and you're a student, I'll provide it and I'll find some training for you, period. I'll get it for you, promise you. Okay, how do I get started with the coaching program? And listening to you for a while, time to get started. Yay! So grab that link and book a call and they'll get you started. And I don't know if there is, if they're offering what kind of fast actions or anything they're doing in there right now, but you got to get on the call and have a conversation with them. They're really, really good people. And here's the thing, nobody that's on my team or that I work with, they don't work for me, they work with me. We work together. And that's how I prefer to work with my coaches too. I had a mentoring program this morning with a girl and I said, when we get going, even though she's taking action, I say we because I'm her partner and I'm in her pocket, period, until she gets where she wants to be. I'm interested in the mentoring program. I graduate with a certificate from FMCA on September 1st. That's fantastic. So if you want to apply to work with me, and you do have to apply because I want to make sure you're serious about your business, I'm going to put my email in here. This is my personal email. Put in the subject line, grab the email and put in the subject line, one-on-one mentoring information, and we'll get on a phone call. We're going to get on a call or we'll get on a Zoom, however, and we will, that's how we're going to work, where we work face-to-face, but I'll send you the information to get more about the mentoring stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love the light bulbs going off. All right, Tamara, do you believe the best way to start is through a health coaching class, such as IIN or NASM or ACE? No, I think the best way to start is through me, because 90% of my people that enroll in my school have been to these programs and then some. So name a health coaching school, and I probably have a student that's been there, and then a couple more. The most certifications of the students that are in, I think, is 8. One person has 8 certifications, still no clients, no coaching, nothing. So when they come to me, when my students come to me, if they do the work, they're going to be successful. If they don't do the work, they're not going to be successful. It's like any other program, but you're only as good as the program that you go through. Your certification and your little piece of paper and all that doesn't mean anything if you don't have the skill to make this business work, period. Okay. All right. Darcy, 2 per day for 4 days over 4 weeks is actually 32 clients. Let's see. Oh, yay. See, I did terrible math, and I probably shouldn't have my 14-year-old do it at 9:15 when he should be in bed. Thank you, Darcy. Double the income then, even better. So my mess up is your benefit, right? Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I'll need to go back and fix the slide. One big thing that holds me back is my concern of my knowledge of a healthy diet and lifestyle is not the best for everyone. It's not. How do you teach what's right for everyone with the existing level of uncertainty? I'm not uncertain about anything I teach at all. Here's what I do. I tell people this. First of all, I don't promote paleo, vegan, keto, any of that. I promote what works for that particular client. So if a client comes to me and they go through the one-on-one coaching, the intake process, right? The first intake form is 20 plus pages long. It depends on how you open it. Sometimes it's 25, sometimes it's 20, wherever you're opening it. And when we look at that form, we're gathering information before we meet with them. We're seeing what they're doing right now. But then we're saying to them, what seems like the least stressful thing mentally, emotionally, and financially that you can start with today? So if someone says to me, the food thing stresses me out, I can't even imagine doing it. And then they say, but you know what? I don't even have enough fun in my life. Can we just work on that first? I really need to ease into this. I'm going to say, absolutely. And then we're going to work on how we can get more fun into that person's life. And then I'm going to say to them, we do have to talk about the food though. We got to get that in there somewhere. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that are going to give you a general idea of how to remove the most inflammatory foods, because really what it is if we remove inflammatory foods and then we give them a list, right? We know the list, you guys. We know that soy and gluten and dairy and all that can cause inflammation, GMO, sugar, all of that. If we give them that list, we're left with whole food, and then it's up to them to choose what they want to eat. I don't give meal plans. I don't give recipes. I provide resources for them to make those decisions for themselves. Okay. And I'm not uncertain about any of it because I'm not taking action. They're taking action. And I'm saying to them, what did you decide to do? Oh, I think I'm going to follow the paleo diet. That makes more sense to me. Fantastic. Did you need any resources for, like maybe one of my favorite paleo shopping lists or something like that? Yes, that would be great. Here you go. There, right? It's not up to us to push our ideas or beliefs on people. It's up to us to meet them where they are. Do you have equal success with remote distant clients? Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was face-to-face with clients. Let's see, 2009 is when I really kind of launched it for real, making money. I was coaching in 2008, but I didn't have anything in place. I was doing it for free. So I would say the first 4.5 years or 5 years, I didn't even have Facebook for my business. I didn't place an ad. I didn't have anything. And then I moved online, and absolutely it was awesome because then I was able to stay home. They were able to stay home. Their spouse could come in, their kids could join. So much more convenient. Marketing is different, 100% different. And we talk about that. I teach about all that in the course about the different methods of marketing, how it's different being online, how it's different being out in the community. What do you need to do differently? Most of the time it's overcome a lot of fears and mindset issues. So yes, all of that stuff is taught. And yes, you can absolutely be successful. I've had clients all over the world. The furthest away client I think I had was New Zealand, or there was New Zealand and Africa, and I suck at geography. So there you go. I'm not an expert in math or geography. I didn't graduate from college because I hated those things so much. So wherever those two land on the map. But anyway, clients everywhere. Chris said, posted in the chat, popping into Q&A. Would you sign up the same people for a weekly series, say 4 weeks, or new people for each class? Absolutely, of course. So how that looks, and I know I would have laid that out, but in the interest of time. So we've got, let's just say we have, let's use sleep because I've already done a template on it. Okay. The ABCs and how to get more Z's is the title of it. So yeah, and Margaret, you're welcome for clarifying, and you can grab that too. So the ABCs and how to get more Z's. So the free talk that you give on that is educating them about what insomnia really is. What does it mean? When you can't sleep, what are the pain points of sleep? The action step comes to sign them up for the group coaching. So the group coaching might be, in the first 60-minute class, we're going to get really in deep about what affects sleep and what it really is. The second class we're going to teach, we're going to recap that first part. Then we're going to teach about, how to clean up your sleep hygiene or whatever. Then the third class might be, supplements and foods and things like that affect sleep and what you could blah, 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 blah. And then the fourth class might be a 30-minute recap of everything they've learned, talk to them about the action steps. They have a group they've been communicating on, so you have some feedback there. You wrap it up with a bow and you end with Q&A. A 4-week class can be done on anything: sleep, food, GMOs, gluten, surgery. Getting ready for surgery is one of the templates I'm writing right now. How to prepare and recover from surgery. Can you even imagine teaching that to surgery centers and hospitals and doctors' offices? I mean, boom, huge. Okay. So yes. And then the new classes roll through. Hey, next month, I want to bring my friend. I'm sending my friend to you. I had such a great experience in your 4-week program. I'm sending my friend to you. Fantastic. It starts on this date. I have 6 slots open. Give her this link, right? Okay. Moving on. I'm clicking through here. For your pricing on fridge and pantry cleanouts, are you saying that's just a number? If I were to do a fridge and pantry cleanout now, I'd probably charge over $300 an hour because I outprice myself from that service. But someone who's brand new might do it for $150. I don't know. But remember, when you get ready to go do that, you're charging for the time you're getting ready, the getting stuff loaded in your car, whatever you got to do to get there, the time you're there, and the time after you leave. Now, you don't write that on there, gas, mileage, and all that. You just include it in your price. Okay. So demographics, experience, etc. Chris says, is the purpose of classes to bring people to other services in our business or just keep teaching? Either one. You can move them into another group. You can move them into the one-on-one coaching. It's up to you. I mean, the opportunities in this health coaching business are endless, you guys. And sadly, I wish I had like 5 of me so I could say, all right, you write this and you do this and you do this, because I have so many things in my head. And as I'm writing them, I put them in the curriculum. They go into my course. So yeah, Janet says, what works for individuals? That's what I'm trying to figure out, how to teach that. It's different for everybody, but you got to have a system in place, Janet, for sure. So yes, so people would pay $100 per class, $400 for 4 weeks. If you choose to put $100 on it, sure. But the classes need to be different, right? Every class is different if they're attending for 4 weeks, like we just talked about. Okay. Ariel, I've always loved that name. I believe so far that I would love to take your coaching program. I don't know enough about how much interaction is involved. You're speaking about it a bit, but can you elaborate? Are we able regularly to ask questions? Yep. I am live every Wednesday, unless there's a holiday or an emergency. I think I've only missed 4 calls since 2017. We speak every Wednesday at 12:30. And I talk about whatever coaches want to talk about. We've gone, and you can ask any of my students, we have gone through some serious barriers and obstacles. We've even coached a coach. I've coached her one-on-one live in front of students so they could see how the system works. We've really uncovered a lot of things with that particular student. You go in my Facebook group and you tag me and I'll go live for you. I wrote every single word of that content. I know it better than anyone, inside out, back and forth. And I love it. I love, love, love teaching coaches. And I love to do it in an open and transparent way. You're not going to find any hidden stuff with me. So if you say to me, Carmen, can you teach me how to run a Facebook group or whatever, there's a training in there. And if you say, I didn't get it from there, can you show me? I'll show you. Okay. It's about making sure you guys are successful, period. Tamara. What about states that say only an RD can give out nutrition information? I agree. Do you assist with navigating that to stay compliant? 100%. Everything in my course is based on safety. 100% safety, safety, safety. I give you documents on how to replace words. Number one, I don't use the word nutrition. We don't use that word at all in my coaching practice and how my coaches work. I teach them how to not use that word. Diet, heal, cure, nutrition, all of that. I give you replacement words. I teach you how to set your stuff in writing up, how to deliver it verbally, everything. To me, we are health coaches. This is where we need to stay. So everything I do, I've been teaching about safety in the health coaching profession for over 5 years now, you guys. I know this stuff back and forth. I actually have taught for a couple of the other schools in the country as well. Dr. Rita Marie, I've taught at, FDN, Rita Marie Lascalzo, who I love. I love Rita Marie. I've taught for Keisha. I have taught for, who else was it? Sandra Steinbaum. I love her and what they do. So I've done teaching on the safety aspect across the board, and I love talking about it too. So You're welcome. Let's see here. By the way, Carol is Carol. Okay. Love my parents for making it special. It absolutely is. And, you know, I'm named Carmen and everybody says, where did that come from? I'm like, I don't have any idea. My mom said, I liked it. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm about as non-Spanish as they come. All right. I'm going over to the chat and I'm just going to make sure we haven't missed anything. Good. I love it when you guys talk. This is so helpful. Not making money yet, putting together your plan, setting up a business plan and finishing your training. And Margaret, when you get done, if you get stuck, you come in and you know where to get your answers. You put it in the event and you just let me know and we're going to get you where you need to be. Okay. Or is it PB? What is PB? I don't know. Oh, practice better, setting up practice better. I thought you meant business plan. Yes. Practice better is fantastic. Okay, good. Making sense. So this is the class you invite them to after the free class. Yes. So, you know, we're doing the free, I call it meet and greets, just because people are meeting me and I'm giving them valuable information or whatever. So meet and greets lead to paid programs. That's what they lead to, but you got to give them some value on it, right? All right. So it makes sense. How do you fill the classes? I think our locale is probably $50 a class, but that's still good money. Yes, it is. How do I fill the classes? Oh, I show up. I show up wherever I can to tell people who I am. I mean, when I was just doing community classes, if I were at the grocery store, if I was at a CrossFit class, if I had a friend that you know, hired me to come clean her pantry out and she had like a jewelry party that she was running, I'm like, here's some cards, give them out. I talk about it everywhere I go. You have to get out and get over whatever fear it is about telling people who you are and what you do, and you've got to show up. You have to. And that's how you do it online too. So if somebody has something they want my help with online, I'll pop in online and just go live. Hey, you know, let's talk about sleep. Let's talk about cholesterol. Let's talk about health, whatever. I have no problem with doing that. And to be a health coach and be successful, you've got to be comfortable with getting in front of people or talking about yourself like the great person and the knowledgeable person that you are. Okay. Yeah, the extra time outside, the 30 hours for administrative and planning. Yeah. And that's factored into the price, right? Like I've talked about. Yep, each person pays 100. Could you really find enough people to fill the same class 12 times a week? Yeah, but if you're asking if you really could, there's a mindset thing going on. What I'd like to see here is I can absolutely fill that class 12 times a week, no problem. Because what happens is if those people come in and they're like, oh my God, that was so fantastic. I learned so much from Audrey. They're going to go tell their friends and they're going to be like, how did you end up losing that 5 pounds? I went to Audrey's class, you guys, you got to try it. And then those people tell those people, tell those people, tell those people. Okay. Referrals, testimonials are everything when building this business. Yes. And yeah, they're willing to pay $100. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. But you got to give the value for it. 100%. I charge $250 a class and one of my favorite classes. And I talk about it all the time because it's the one that's freshest in my memory. $250 a class. 12 or 15 people. I can't remember because not everybody came every time because they had kids and whatever. Some of them brought their kids. And I taught 4 weeks and I taught everything on the 7 essentials. I think back then it was only 5, to be honest with you. I added spirituality and trauma in 2017, but I taught about the 5 essentials. I met every single Saturday. It was awesome. I loved every single minute of it. And I made great money doing it. Easy peasy, right? A different topic every month or every week or every day. I mean, yeah. Okay, is the idea to keep it small, to be personalized rather to a large group? We touched on that, absolutely. Some people like the larger groups. They don't like to be singled out. Some people like the small groups because they want all the attention. It just depends on what you're comfortable doing. This is great, Carmen. I have to hop off and see a client. Yay, you're seeing clients. Yes, and there will be a replay. It will go out. We don't see the menu. What do you mean you don't see the menu? Did you guys not see the a la carte thing I set up? I hope you did because I was sharing the screen. Chris says, would you sign up? Okay, we already covered that. Love the add-on idea. Yeah, it's fantastic because here's what I love. I love to work and then be done, right? And as a health coach, when you're working on building your business, it's hard to do that because you're working with the client. The client, hopefully you guys don't have them calling you on your phone and texting you every minute unless you're charging a good amount of money. But the work doesn't end because then you're like, I got to follow up with email. And I get, oh my gosh, she's texting me from the grocery store. And oh my gosh, she wants to ask a question about her mom, right? But if we teach these one-offs or we go to their house and we do this and we provide that, you know, the clean out or whatever, you go home, it's done until they hire you for something else again. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Let's see. Oh, yay, love it, love it. And here's the thing, you can love it all day long, but if you don't get on the phone and find out what we offer and who we are, you're going to get off this webinar and you're still not going to be doing what you need to be doing to make money. Okay. So I'm encouraging you to get on a phone call. It's just a phone call. Nobody's recording you. No one is taking your money unless you choose to sign up. None of that, you guys. It's just a phone call. And if a phone call is, it is a step forward in your business, at least you're moving forward and you're not hanging up, not doing nothing, right? Doing nothing won't build your business. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And so, okay. So I want to, yeah. So what do you think about working for online health coaching services like Noom? I like an entrepreneurial health coaching business, period. You're going to be limited work. I did a whole training on collaboration and all of that. You're limiting yourself if you work for other people, but if that's okay with you and that's what you want to do, go for it. I want to work for myself. I want to determine my hours. I want to determine how much money I make and how I perform in my business, all of that. All right. So Wally's saying, no way I can meet with clients once a month, change doesn't happen. Then you don't have a system in place, because it does. It absolutely 100% happens. The thing is if it's not taking place and change isn't happening, then they're probably relying too much on you and they're not taking action enough for themselves. Okay. There's a reason that that's happening. I've seen it. And I can tell you that there are things around that. But it does, it works. It works. I mean, I've got clients, you can go out to my website and see all my old testimonials if you want. I can't imagine charging $450 a month in my small rural community or even online. Mindset, got to change your mindset. You're not going to make money with that mindset. Online, you have access to the world. How in the world could you not make $450 a month? You have access to everybody. Everybody, you guys. Okay. I'm new with a very different niche. Carol, I don't teach a niche. I teach that every human being with a pulse is a client, period. Right? If they want to optimize their health, then they are a client. They are a potential client. Okay. 2 per day. Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. Thank you again, Darcy. I told you I was terrible at math. There you go. All right. Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate that, that compliment about being the real deal. I choose to be exactly who I am and no one else. Where to find clients who is ready for your services? Well, once you put a price on it, you get a system in place, you start teaching, they find you. But you got to get out and you got to knock on doors and you got to advertise yourself. Sell yourself, you guys. Yes, I will send you a recording for sure. And I got to get moving here. I got to pick my kid up, so I got to get out the door in 5 minutes. So let me just go through real quick. I read as fast as I talk. One big thing that holds me back is my concern. We've already talked about that. Great, keep moving. I can tell you all straight up, sign up for Carmen's coaching school is the best, smartest thing I've ever done. Authentic and raw and genuinely cares about us. Of course I care about you guys, because if you're not working, we're not helping people. And if I'm not teaching you what you need to help people, then I'm not doing my job either, right? No question unanswered, no need goes unmet. You know my motto. Yay! That is our motto at the school, that no question goes unanswered and no need goes unmet. The only time that happens is if I didn't see it or the support ticket got duplicated or something like that. But yeah, so there's my, okay, yep, there's the link. Thank you so much for sharing that again. Oh, is the bad link? Okay, hold on a second. Let me take a peek because it worked for me yesterday. Let me check. Yep, there it is. It's working for me. Yeah, I'm looking right at it. So hold on. I'm gonna let me plug this one in. Maybe this one will be, maybe this is a refresh. So here's your call. And let me share my screen. I'll show it to you. This is what you should see. Okay, there you go. Ugh. I see anytime that pops up, I'm like, ah! So there you go. There's a schedule right there. There's videos right there. If you haven't been, here's testimonials. If you haven't at least gone to the Institute for Functional Health Coaching.com, you guys, just to see what we are, there's blogs and information out there too. Okay, so scrolling up real quick. What about, yeah, we already covered that. Carmen was my birth name. My sister wanted me naked. Oh, named after her best friend, Sharon. So Carmen is now my alter ego. That's hilarious. Wanted you named. Thank you for the giggle. That's hilarious. All right. Well, that's not a bad alter ego to have. Oh my God, that is so funny. Yes, if we're not laughing, we're not enjoying life. Do I have experience with adult education programs? It depends on the adult education. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you let me know what that means? I've got about 1 more minute and I can answer that. Yeah, I didn't want to niche down, Amelia, because here's what happened. And I did a whole training on that. Imagine that. It's called No Niche, No Problem. No niche, no problem. And the reason why is because every time I tried to niche into something, I felt like the people that were looking for me were like, oh, well, she only does this or she only does that. I'm not going to contact her because she helps with thyroid. I'm not going to contact her. She only helps with hormones. So I'm like, forget it. I help everyone. Okay. Adult education through local schools. Oh, I mean, yeah, people teach groups and classes in local schools. I mean, you can take these things anywhere. You can take these classes anywhere you gain permission. And that means knocking on the door, asking for the decision maker and saying, hey, I have something to add value, or I have something that can make people healthier, or help your staff, or teach your corporate, or whatever. Any group template you create can be carried to any location, you guys. Absolutely. Okay. Yes. I know I'm like drinking from a fire hose. I know, Becky. I know. Here's the thing. I love that I love that I am this person that probably talks too fast for a lot of people. But you know what? I cover a lot of ground. And if anybody, I had students come down and at an event, they stayed at my house and came down, and I took them climbing. We did a workout. We went to dinner. We had some real heart-to-heart conversations. And they can tell you straight up, I move as fast as I talk. And I've got an event coming up in the spring in Chattanooga. I'm doing my first in-person, out in the world event. That is going to be, I'm so excited. I'm planning it right now. It's going to be so much fun. So anyway, you can always go back and listen again. If I talk too fast, you can pause me or put me on slow motion. So you're saying 250 group for 4 weeks, 250 for the whole month per person, not 250 per Saturday, right? Correct. It was per person for the month. So 12 people times 250. Don't even ask me to do the math on that, right? Yeah, it did. It was per month. And they got 4 classes with me, right? Okay. Yes, Bernadette. Okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I feel like you're reading my mind. No one has answered so many of my questions without answering them. Woohoo! That's because I'm a coach, and so are you. And I've been there, and I've done that. And Lord, I did not get any awards or anything like that. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my business, hundreds of thousands of dollars of investments. So, and I'll tell you this, I'm gonna give you one more story and then I'm gonna go, but, double dip that income comment. That's all right. Totally fine. Yeah. So here's the thing, you guys, I will tell you this much. When my mindset switched about what it meant to actually make money away from learning so much stuff about health, and I shifted my mind into what it meant to exchange the energy of giving value, for the exchange of money, and knowing that I was doing it in an ethical way and that I was doing the right thing and all of that, I couldn't even stop watching my bank account. And it's not a lie. I'm not like, oh, I watched my bank account go from 5,000 to 200 grand. No. The real reality of it is, this was many years ago. I watched my income go from like 175 for a client, and then another client and another client and another client, to the point where I had to up my prices because I was getting so much experience and giving so much value and time. I couldn't stop checking PayPal because I was like, oh my gosh, more money. Because at the time, I just used PayPal. I'd invoice from there. People paid me in there. There are things you don't have to have to build this health coaching business. And these things that you're being pushed to spend a lot of money on, most of the time they're not necessary, and you probably won't even use them until you actually get in the meat of building a successful business. So don't just grab those shiny objects, you guys. Most of the time you're not going to need them. All right, I got to go get my kiddo. Let's hope that today's a better day. I'm going to tell you a funny story about, and then I'll let you go. Okay. So I make these little gluten-free wraps for my son every morning. We're in a new city. I brought him to a new high school. It was a really rough spring. I can tell you straight up. Moving, I had surgery on my knee, crazy. And so anyway, I make these little wraps, and I wrap them up in this, unbleached paper or something like that. Anyway. And so I have them made for the week, right? Well, I put a sweet potato in there because I was like, I don't want that right now. I'm going to put it in this paper. And he grabbed the sweet potato, which he hates, instead of his wrap. So I get a message at lunchtime. We have a problem. I have a giant sweet potato. You forgot to put my sandwich in here. I'm like, oh, sorry. So I got to go grab some food for my kid, who probably just chucked that thing right in the trash, which he hates them. Oh, well. But I thought that was so funny. It made me laugh out loud. I thought, oh, mom of the year. I move him to a new school. He's not super happy at his high school. They've got a dress code. And then I give him a sweet potato for lunch. Really? Yeah, too funny. Oh my gosh, my life is full of those things. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys hanging in here and listening. And I just encourage you, yes, Paula, rinse and repeat, not always a full class, correct? But I appreciate you guys hanging in and listening and asking the questions and being really, really concerned about doing the right thing with the safety, about learning the right way to help people, and doing this straight up, you guys, to honor yourselves for all the time and money you've spent to become a health coach. So get out there and do it. Get it done. Make a phone call. Have a conversation with my people. Okay. And then one more time reminder, carmenhunterhealth@gmail.com. If you're interested in my one-on-one mentoring, I will send you that information. Put in the subject line, interested in one-on-one mentoring or whatever. But get on the phone with my folks. You'll love them. They're great. And they're going to give you great information and see if you qualify and if we're a good match for you and you're a good match for us. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for joining.